if you wanted to say that. All right. Well, yeah. Let me try to get him on. You fill time while I.
We can also see if the mission can get on here, and then see if he's been busting bad dudes up.
Okay.
Did I tell you? Oh, I got a story for the podcast.
What? Well, let's do. You know what? Let's get it.
We're gonna talk about road rage, guys.
Hold on.
Road rage. Let me tell you about a story.
Okay. Well, first they don't know who you are because no one's watching, so I have to introduce you, real quick.
I thought it was my guitar for a second in the background. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, no.
Did you move that?
To my left, your right, we have Adam, the Preacher Green. Why can't they hear it? Oh, you know why? Because I did the one thing. I turned that off.
You're gonna crack up about the story I'm about to tell you.
Adam, the Preacher Green. And then I'm your gracious host, Mike Rademacher. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Thank you. All right, we're going to try to get some special guests we might have on later. His name is Matt the Mission Green. And then Jonathan Stassi.
Trash.
What an
We'll
asshole.
see if we can get him on, but, we're going to put out the bat signal right now. Adam, why don't you go ahead and tell me the story while I do this?
A little bit burp.
You had a story you wanted to tell me.
All right, so the other day I'm going to work. I work at all these stores, and I was going to Florissant. And I'm going to take 94, but I end up going, oh, no, 70 will be quicker. So I turn around on Jungerman, because I live on Jungerman, halfway down Jungerman. And right when I turn around, I get up to Cave Springs, right by that U.S. Bank, and I get pulled over by a cop. All right? And I end up having a warrant from 2 years ago from Wentzville. They tagged my plates. I had no idea. I owed the courts like $178. I didn't pay it. So they ended up tagging my plates because it was so long. And I had a warrant. My brother bailed me out. And so I was late. Needless to say, I was late for work. But right when I got arrested and my brother bailed me out a couple hours later, the cop was super cool. He was super nice. I was like, hey, man, I fucked up. I get it. He was like, oh, man, I'm sorry you got to do all this. I'm like, no, I get it. So, he cussed me. We're talking. We're shooting the shits. And he ends up not giving me a ticket for I actually got pulled over because I had the expired plates. He didn't give me a ticket for that. And I didn't have my insurance card on me. He didn't give me a ticket for that either. He was probably about my age. He parks my car for me. That was really nice. And he said, hey, you want me to park the car so it doesn't get towed? I'm like, that'd be cool. If I see anything, I won't hold it against you. Kind of laughed. All right, cool. There's nothing in there, but all right. And he parks it. We get all the way down there. I get through all the booking process. My brother picks me up.
I come back.
I'm about to fix it.
Anyways, so I get out in a couple hours. I got a good brother. I got a good family. So, and by the way, that's an example of not resisting arrest. But going past that, I get dropped off, get to my car. I get not even 30 yards down the road. I mean, I got to that stoplight by the Denny's. And all of a sudden there's an ambulance coming down the road, honking their horns. We all pull over. This lady totally neglected it. The ambulance still got around her. She didn't give a fuck. I don't know why. And she cut me off, cut a bunch of people off, didn't let the ambulance get through. They ended up just pushing past her. I give her a double honk because I'm like, what the fuck? There's an ambulance. Someone's dying. Do you not care about people? She obviously doesn't. She doesn't care about anyone but her useless self. And she pulls up and she gets right by that stoplight. The stoplight turns red. And this is right after I got out of jail. I'm not even 30 yards down the road. Right after my brother drops me off at where the cop parked my car. She gets out of her car at the stoplight. This actually happened, Mike. And she starts throwing her groceries at my car. She's launching groceries at my car. I'm talking cans, orange juice, bread. She's launching everything in my car, screaming. And I told her, I rolled up my window, please stop, ma'am. Ma'am, please stop. And I was like, can you please calm down? And she's still throwing stuff. It was a woman next to me, rolls down the window, says, can you get out of the way? She starts throwing stuff at her car. She doesn't have tag plates, so The car might have been stolen. I have no idea. She doesn't have plates on her car. Car looks beat to hell. It looks like a drug car. And she's throwing stuff at this lady's car now. And then some guy across the highway, across the street, I should say, by Denny's, starts yelling at her. And then she launches a can across the street, across the highway. This happened, Mike. And launches the can. I mean, it wasn't even close. She was a fatty. I don't think she had any muscle, so. But she tried to launch it and missed him. And by this point, she gets back in her car and gets back out. She gets back out and pops the trunk. Goes around, reaches inside the car. I pull my gun, I have it on my hip, and I'm gonna shoot her. I'm gonna get her with 5 rounds in the gut. Like, I'm ready to do it. I was like, I can't believe I have to shoot someone. Then she turns around, and I've got my gun almost pointed at her now, but I'm down low. I don't think she can see it. Then she throws bread at my car. Like, okay, it's just bread. I put my gun back down. And then a cop beeps his horns.
Why is she throwing stuff at your car?
Because she has road rage, dude.
Oh.
Okay, it's called road rage. People get angry and delusional, and they don't know what they're doing. And God knows, maybe something happened to her. I don't know. Maybe she was having a rough morning. I don't know. I just was arrested, and I was still just wanting her to get in her car and leave. I didn't care. She wasn't doing damage to my car. Even if she did, I don't care. It's paid off. But she didn't do any damage. Like she said, she had no physical strength to do. She wasn't really throwing anything at like any kind of speed. But the cop beeps his horn. So this lady tries to run through a light. She runs through a red light. The cop cuts her off. At this point, there's about 2 cops on her, and the cop weighs me down. So I pull over, and the cop's like, "Hey man, do you want to press charges?" I'm like, "No man, she threw her groceries in my car. I don't really care. I just want to go to work." And while I'm making a statement or whatever, the cop is talking to me. The cop that arrested me pulls up behind me, gets out, and goes, "Man, dude, what's up? It hasn't even been like, what, you got 40 yards down the road?" And that happened. That happened, people. People are insane. I had a bad morning. I still got to work before 10:30. That just shows you, people, you need to go to work still. Moral of the story.
Or you could quit your job. All right?
And you don't just quit your job because you move 40 minutes, to Illinois, okay?
An hour, okay?
Oh, an hour. You don't just quit your fucking job, guys.
Why not?
Okay? That's what women do, not men.
I'm a man.
Apparently not.
I had money saved up. Well, let me tell you.
At least he had money saved up.
Adam, that woman that was throwing all that stuff at your car, she was...
Trash.
Here's the thing, Mike. Here's the thing. I actually forgive her. I don't really care. I said a prayer for her. I said a 10, 12, 15-minute prayer for her that night. I think she could have... Family member could have died. Anything could have happened. I'm not mad at her. In fact, I hope she really didn't even get in trouble. I know that the cop told me, she's not getting away with it. She probably got charged with God knows what. I'm pretty sure she was either on drugs, intoxicated, or out of her mind, but she probably got hit with like a half a dozen charges. Also, there were other people she threw stuff at that they definitely pressed charges. I know this. They got waved down, and I heard them talking. So, I feel bad for her. That if someone double honking the horn at someone because they cut an ambulance off and cut everybody else off, gets to the point where she has to get out of a car and throw her groceries, I legitimately am sad for her. That's what I'd have to say.
Wow. Great story, Adam. Great story.
It doesn't seem like you liked it.
That was good. Well, actually, it was a crazy story.
Yeah, that actually happened. No, seriously. Like, all of that happened.
Wow. Well, it seems that Mr. Jonathan Stassi says he's working, but might be in for a treat. Mr. Matthew Wade Green says he will join us in about 5 minutes.
Mission.
Yeah. So all of you people out there watching, get ready for the mission. He's going to be right here on your screen. You'll be able to see him. You might even be able to touch him. And you might be able to feel him. Oh, that's why it wasn't working.
This isn't on my Facebook account, is it?
No, it's not on Facebook.
Tag me. It was on my Facebook last time.
I didn't tag. No.
It was on my wall.
Oh, no, I didn't tag the...
I had to untag. Don't tag me in that.
Why?
Because I say stuff in here that I don't want employees rather
Okay.
All right,
We're
continue.
back. We're back. Yeah. So, yeah, Matt the Mission Green says he'll be joining us. He said about 5 minutes. He's gonna phone in. I sent him the link. We'll get him up here on the screen. But while we're waiting, I had a few things. Well, actually, when he comes on, we can do what everyone's all been waiting for. I'm not gonna reveal it to you because it's a secret for you and the audiences. But anyway, first of all, Adam, we've got some videos I want to watch or I want to show you.
Not me, right?
Planking
videos? No.
That I think you'll have a dandy old time doing.
Singing videos.
No, singing videos.
Videos of me and you?
No.
Okay, good.
It's just videos.
Just for join up.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull those up.
Avengers?
No Avengers.
That picture.
That's me. Speaker should be this one. Microphone should be the Prosers. Tab. So I came across this on TikTok one time.
Oh, I've seen this.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh,
It's like silly Olympic. It's funny.
It's hilarious.
Like the sock sliding one.
Yeah. This is the silly salmon. So I was the other day on TikTok and I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
There was water everywhere. That's spent years perfecting that.
Oh yeah. That was good.
They almost broke the thing. Showers of gold for Australia.
859 9510 95. This is the best one.
The sliding.
Smashing world
A world
Wow.
record. 6.83 meters.
Wow.
First ever by a female athlete.
And then she hit it with knees, dude.
Yeah. To do both. Just slippery slam, slide double.
Of course,
With a towel whack.
Of course they won
sliding on the knees.
was one hell of a Chinese burn.
Chinese
I'm sure you can say that. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
They put on the fucking pizza. Look at that.
A rubbish throw.
Wow. Got him. Got him. Like they got him.
Is it here? You can see he's going to drop.
Oh, you're double playing.
But then look how he rolls his wrist on it. That left hand delivers the goods again. He kept getting better at the forgot grocery bag.
Russian
Disqualified. Unexpected item in the bagging area. He tried to put that ammo through as a brown onion and got busted. Then it was a clean up in oil gold. Louis McDonald with a gut busting 30
to take the chocolates and saved himself 45
32
cents.
items.
And who could
Unexpected
forget
bagging.
this? Into the
This
bin.
guy.
Oh no! The Dutchman's hit the deck. There's a
Trash
brawl.
bag race.
Call the
Trash
council.
bag race.
Queens hit the front.
It's
Our man's gonna win. Gold for Australia. Have some of that. Incredible. They'll
That's
make
Jake Humphries
TV
and
ads
Matt
out of this,
Davenport.
JB.
I look at the elite average games medal tally, and yep, the Aussies still on top. And the
Wow,
USA's got
USA
0
got one,
golds.
fuckers.
0
Suck it,
gold.
Seppos.
We don't suck.
1 bronze.
We don't suck.
Those make it look easy moments brought to you by Sportsbet. Stay tuned for more from the Elite Average Games.
Have you seen the 2021 Elite Average Games?
See, it makes sense that USA got one because we're not elitely average.
Welcome back to another edition of the Elite Average
bunch of
Games,
fatties
brought to
and
you by
Aussies are
Sportsbet. And haven't we got
gonna
some
be elitely
action for
average.
you? Oh, this is my favourite part, JB. We've got all the highs and the lows. So sit
All the
back
highs and
and
the
get
lows.
ready for 6 of the absolute elite average best. Ring the bell. Let's start off with the Beach Shade Wrestling, where Britain's Cole Flowers failed to put away his opponent. Pretty embarrassing, JB. All those people watching, and he's made a total tit of himself.
Folding the beef
And
steak.
that killer reversal got him right in the beach balls. That left the tent door wide open for Aussie Sandy Beachley, who pounced on the goal. The nature girl, Chick Flair. Woo! At number 5, incredible scenes at the Field of Screams as Prickly Pam Patterson took on the 10K barefoot bindie walk.
This has got to be the most grueling event of the games. A true test of body and soul, and Pam jumped in feet first.
With a buffalo ablaze with bindies, Pam made her move as her Kenyan rival fell at the pointy end.
Not even the officials could pluck up victory for the Aussie.
This is Savlon Salvation! Prickly Pam wins gold for Australia.
It's like walking on glass.
The Aussie dominance continues at number 4. Alisation letting rip in the dog ball launching.
Just a masterful flick of the wrist. And watch this thing almost go out of the dog park.
Talk about golden retrievers, JB. The wanger factor on that toss was off the scale.
Nice little spin on it too, judging by that celebration. We'll be back with more after this quick message.
Elite average? That's literally just made up.
Oh, no.
Some say it's a contradiction,
It's that dude from last
an oxymoron.
Yeah, he won it.
That's rubbish.
He's doing it again.
Yeah. He's just
Elite average isn't owned by a chosen few. It's in all of us. Never forget
They
that.
really sponsored him.
Just like bin day.
I like to see him in the morning. TV.
I'm Gary Flynn, wheelie bin champion, and I make it look easy with sports bet.
We're back, and at number 3, it was Fabian Frothies with a champagne performance in the Rhythmic Spillnastics.
That's sugarcane champagne, JB.
Gymnastics. This is like, I think...
Change from 4 drinks. Don't see that often.
Well, dude, Matt would kill this.
Getting credit for his round now,
That'd be too good for this.
Lovely point pirouette
especially on this sticky floor.
into his trademark schooner shuffle.
Extra hops. Now serve it up, son. Yes!
All thriller, no spiller.
Almost all tense.
If you thought that was good, at number 2, it was all happening at the parallel parking.
The German Hans Breaker was docked points for using automatic park assist.
That gave Clutch Kennedy the open space he needed for something big.
Well, that's what he wheeled out, the Gold Coast combo.
And incredibly, he slotted it.
He just backed himself in and drove off with the
I
goal.
know, I think this...
And here we go. At number 1, history
the
was
Aussies are
made.
USA
Are the
versus-
I'm on
Is
the
this
edge of my
ridiculously
ergonomic seat,
average?
JB. Inbound.
The,
What are you doing? Don't stop around with
office-
it.
They've set up the partition.
Wow. A buzzer
Australia
beater.
win! Drop that, Sippos! You can forget overtime.
Black
The
guy,
Boomers
full
have
shit.
beaten the Ream team. Somebody.
Let's hear from Gazy on that
But
epic
no,
comeback.
This
The
is,
ball we
oh,
used
it's
in the
paper
second
towel.
half
It's
was the
basketball.
plays all scrunched
Same
up
mechanics,
that we
mate.
used in the first half.
And once you were able to recycle more efficiently, it was death by 1,000 paper cuts for the clean team.
Spot on, mate. Give them credit. They're a great team on paper, but today we ripped them to shreds.
Excellent.
Great to see the Grey Goose finally become the Golden Goose.
What a way to cap it off. Thanks for joining us for what was another brilliant Elite Average Games brought to you by Sportsbet.
I think that's the Australian sports betting company or something. But here, Matt is looks like he has
Ready to do what's up?
what's the code? There shouldn't be a code. Oh, I probably just need to let him in. This is the code? Alright, let's get Matt in here. That's the code? He's ready for it.
Is that the code?
I think it is. It's down there. That's the only thing I have. I have that. And it should just be the link.
Like it'd be left right. Like the Da Vinci Code. Tell him you don't like that.
I don't like that a little bit.
You've offended Michael.
He can't even hear me.
Retardee.
No, don't.
He didn't put the it in there. There's got to be a code, dude.
There's no code because last time I did it to Josh and he just clicked it and he was in. a Gmail? Question mark. Do you have a Gmail?
I mean, why can't you just click the link, man?
You should just be clicking it. Click, and it should be like someone wants in on this bad boy. But I'm not seeing that anyone wants in. I've got Dos-O People O.
Uber Eats.
Dos-O People, me and myself and I. Maybe he doesn't have Gmail. Oh, there he is. Admit.
What's up, bro?
Whoa! Look who it is.
Mission.
Look who it is. Look who it is. All right, let's get him on the screen now. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. What is this one? Oh wait, you know what it is?
Oh, he's looking at his jawline.
You know
I'm looking at my hair, dog. I'm looking at my hair.
Dog, you gotta stop cutting your hair. Grow that out.
Oh, I gotta set this up. Hold on. Display one. Oh, it's to the wrong window. That's why. It's the old one.
Mike, what am I? Look at your picture, dude.
What'd you say to me?
Look at your picture right down there.
Look at your picture. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let's see. 5 hundo. There's Matt. Okay, and this one. 5 hundo. Another one. Crop top. 1 hundo. Crop bottom. Wait a second. Cancelize that. Give me a second.
Oh, the green's in my face.
What?
The box is in my face on the thing.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna fix it. To a window, windows, to the walls, to the walls. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Ready, steady, windowed projector. I put it over here. This is gonna be it. Share. All right. Now this should. All right. Let's see. Properties. Get it to this one. Ah, perfect. Boom. Look, there he is.
There's all sorts of stuff going on.
Get my face right.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get your face.
Who's this fat, dumbass looking guy in the background?
Oh, it's some random guy.
Looks like he was the creation of incest.
He's from Arkansas.
Looks like it, dude.
Alright, and then what else did I have?
Yes.
There you
Perfect. Not doing him justice.
Oh, you want here? I have a bigger one, I think.
Yeah, that's a little guy, dude.
Where's this one? Let's see.
There, that's better.
This guy's bigger.
Yeah.
Dude, effing not functional.
Look at that. Look at that. Wait, I can make them larger too. Watch.
That's fine.
I don't want to be a big beefcake, dude.
Come on. Why not?
Dude, he can't even do 10 burpees now.
Look at that. Shit.
Looking jacked, bro.
Dude, you're looking big. Have you been working out? Matt, do you even work out anymore? I can't tell by all the videos you post
Dude,
online.
you suplexing. If it's not posted, it doesn't count.
Matt, tell me if you can hear this. When we introduce you, this is what happens.
Yeah. I can hear him. I can hear
You hear that?
Yeah.
Nice.
You been busting any bad crooks up?
Oh, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I've been fucking people up.
Turn it up.
Oh, it's up.
Oh, really?
Oh, for us? Then just turn this volume up. Turn that up. Yeah. Where'd you go? There you are. What was your, where are you at?
My house?
Oh, you have a little shooting gallery behind you?
Yeah, I'm trying out for SWAT soon, so I'm practicing my dry firing.
For SWAT? What do you do in SWAT?
Search warrants, kicking doors, you fucking do 7250s like when like hostage situations and shit.
Matt, language. This is not that kind of show. Watch your language. There's children here.
Well, damn, dude, you better you better kick me off this thing.
Is there anyone else in your house?
Yeah, you got.
No, not right now.
Nice.
Me.
Dang, have you ever talked? Have you ever talked to Jake Humphreys since you guys are now cop brother?
We're not cop brothers, dude.
What? Does Jake Humphreys message you daily?
He messages me every so often. I'm like, bro, you're not the police. You work in fucking the county. You don't do shit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
He's always.
I fucking chase murderers and beat the fuck out of people weekly, dude. You're not doing shit.
Yeah, I'll see him like comment on your things, and then like I'll message him all the time. He never messages me back, and then he's commenting trying to talk to you all the time. Like, Jake, why don't you talk to me? I try to message you.
He pulled a 17-year-old over and gave him a traffic ticket for going 6 over.
He did that?
I mean, probably.
That's what he does. So you guys aren't pals? What's the deal with that?
He's embarrassing. He's an embarrassment.
Yeah, I saw him comment on one thing. He's like, "Yeah, these police officers are pussies or whatever." One of your posts, and he was like agreeing with you. I'm like, I think you're the one he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
He's gonna read.
That's why he felt the need to comment.
I'll tag Matt in this, and then he'll be like, "Oh, Matthew's on there. Let me see there, feller."
Did you get shot at recently?
No, not recently, bro.
That's what's up.
Not recently. That's good. You don't want to get shot at.
Dude, I want to take around, dude. I gotta get some bodies under me.
Some what?
I want to put some bodies under me, dude. Put some body. I'm gonna get some teardrops and start fucking counting up the bodies.
What's your kill to death ratio?
It's perfect right now. I haven't died, so.
Perfect. Yeah, but
undefeated, man.
How many people have you shot?
Only one.
Only one? That one from way back in the day?
Did you get his? What did you shoot him in?
Yeah.
Did he die?
No, I don't think he died. Right? He didn't die. That was one from like a year ago, right?
That was last January.
Yeah, last January.
You hit a shot. Where'd you clip him at?
Oh, we never found the fucking dudes. They took off in this tuned out fucking sedan, dude.
Were they black?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say if they would have died, you would have been all over the news.
Well, yeah.
Were they black?
White cop shoots black guy in the city.
I mean, the dude
because everyone there is white.
The dude was hanging out of a fucking car with a full-size AR, shooting up this fucking chick on the other side of the street.
That is true. That's why you got to be careful. That's why Matt has only shot one person. You got to be careful, man, because he could get scrutinized depending on who he shoots.
Well, here's the thing. Matt works in the city. Everyone there is black, Mike. He's gonna get scrutinized regardless.
There's some white people there.
Well, I work in
4.
I work in North City, so everybody is like black in North City. But like obviously in this like the other part of the city, it's like 50-50. The population.
What district are you in?
North City is, but there's
District 5 with North
District
City.
5. A guy asked that to me the other day. I didn't know what district you were in, so they think like, oh, what do you just hate your brother or something because he's a cop? I'm like, no, I just don't know. Do you know where your family works? Like exactly?
McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm North Patrol. It's North Patrol is what it is. I'm District 5.
District 5, North Patrol.
So you haven't seen one white person over there, is what you're saying?
How many?
No, I mean, you see some fucking meth and crackheads that show up to buy dope and shit, but it's rare. And every once in a while, there's like a couple white prostitutes I know that are regulars over there. But aside from that, like
regular prostitutes.
Matt's like, yeah, Matt knows them. He already said he's like, there's some prostitutes I know.
They're the regulars, dude.
I mean, like all the prostitutes, almost all of them because it's the same 30, 40, 50 people, and then pretty much.
Do you guys arrest them or do you just let them do what they do?
No, we don't fuck with them, dude.
Oh.
They're not doing anything that bad.
They're not worried about them? I mean...
No, dude. If we tried to arrest prostitutes, it would be endless. There's too many of them. It happens too much. And
you probably don't have the budget for that, right?
Do you ever like use them as like in a sting for like an informant? You like be like, hey, we're gonna do this. And
they probably use cops for that.
Blah blah blah.
I don't do that kind of work, but yeah, they've used them for scenarios like that. Yeah, sometimes they snitch, but like They're just dope. You know what I mean? They're just dopers that fucking, fuck dudes to get high for $5. They're just all crackheads. No heads.
With inflation, that's like $4.
Matt, I don't even know if you could talk about this, but have you ever used a criminal informant at all?
Yeah, well, my partner is really, really good with that. We do. He does confidential informants. Yeah, we CIs. Yeah, I'm not really into that, but he likes to do that. So we'll, if we catch a guy with dope, we'll try to flip him for, for the guy who sold him the dope to get his supplier, the guy that has that has more dope. So you try to flip him.
So you guys obviously see a fair amount of action over there and do a lot over there.
Flip him
Does it upset you that people don't people out here in St. Peter's, they think you guys don't do what you do. They don't understand what you guys do and put your life on the line daily. Does that make you guys mad out there? Because of the ignorance that we have out here?
You mean as police officers or as the community?
No, the people out in St. Peter's and St. Charles, there's a lot of ignorance out here. They don't understand what you guys do every day. They think you're just like cops out here.
Dude,
you're pulling 16-year-old overs for traffic.
I honestly think the people in the suburbs, the county, are actually better, I think, overall than, the perception of police is better out there than is in the city. I think, ironically, the community in the city, the citizens, right, I think they're more biased, anti-police than... Which is ironic because they're the ones that are enduring more crime.
Do you think that's a? So I got a question. This is a theory I had so there's not. You guys don't have a really good budget out there, right?
No, we have one of the worst budgets.
So
in the area,
being a low budget, I assume that means you guys have to let a lot of stuff go, like prostitution, correct?
It's not that we have to. It's just that we don't. It's just the product, right? It's just the product, the effect of not. It's not even about the budget. I think it's just about the fact that there's too much crime.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So much crime.
Okay, let me there's so much crime you have to pick and choose, right? You got to pick the worst of two evils, correct?
I don't know if I'd call it the worst of two evils. We don't necessarily. I guess that's a subjective matter. I wouldn't consider. That's the thing, right? I guess when you're in the city and you're around, the fucking worst murderers, these people shoving guns.
You're not going to arrest a prostitute for having sex with someone for $5.
Right, they're not a concern, and
so
I think that it's because police are so used to being police, being an enforcer of law instead of looking at something subjective because they have an their goal is to objectively enforce a law, right? A law that's black and white. And that's the problem. That's what the problem is. When you're in the city, because of how fucked up it is, you have the leniency to be gray, which, causes corruption, but it also is good because, you can let things go that don't matter.
Right, so you're letting stuff go to some extent. Out here, we have a lot of cops, and realistically, we understand punishment's punishment, so we don't break the law out here because, the premise has been set. So, what I'm saying is, out here... when they see something that's even on that line, they're going to pull you over for having... I had expired plates for a week, and I got pulled over and got arrested. And I had a warrant from two...
Wait,
it's a long story. I had expired plates. I had a warrant from 2 years ago from in Wentzville. I basically didn't pay off some tickets. And I didn't even know I had a warrant, but I had a warrant from Wentzville. They tagged my plates because it was so long. I got arrested. I'm assuming you guys aren't going to arrest someone for that.
No,
and what the warrant was for is it was expired plates. I got a ticket for expired plates.
You had a bench
was 2 years ago.
You had a city bench warrant for a traffic violation. That's what
it was a traffic violation.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you guys aren't going to waste your time and do that, correct?
No, man.
So what I'm saying is I understand that I was raised, 28 years. I've been raised and taught that wrong is wrong, and I didn't resist arrest. I go, hey man, I even told the cop, it's my fault. I deserve this. I'm assuming you're going to have a little bit more pushback out there. And the reason that is because you guys can't enforce. I'm assuming you guys can't enforce or you don't enforce because it's not worth it. You've got to pick the violent crimes and the bad crimes. So you're not, they're going to be it's the premise that's set. Hey, I was never arrested for the first 28 years for this, this, and this, but now you're arresting me, so I'm going to resist arrest now. bullshit. Even if I did shoot this guy or shoot at this guy, it's horseshit. I don't deserve this because the premise has kind of been set out there. Does that make sense?
Are you asking me or stating it?
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, the perception. I mean, yeah, the perception.
Like I understand
right
that
and wrong is different. Like,
I just understand that I broke a law because I was born and raised to be like, hey, this is what it's always been and always will be. I broke the law, whether if it was a traffic violation or not.
Oh, I see.
Well, back there,
they're entitled. Yes. People in the city are
where
entitled.
you work, right? Where you work, it's like
entitled to doing criminal things. So they think that there's levels to
they don't deserve it.
They always,
right.
If I arrest a dude with a gun, and he's a felon, right, which is like a pretty serious offense. It's a felony, obviously. Why are you out here catching dudes that are killing people?
Right.
And you look at his arrest record, and he has 50 arrests of assaults, robberies, burglaries, like shit. Like, yeah, maybe he's not an active murderer, but he's a shitbag. Yeah, there's a sense of entitlement amongst criminals in the city. Yes, to answer.
And that's because of I'm assuming because of what is let go, like prostitution.
It's the culture.
It's the culture.
It's the culture because there's so much crime. I mean, it's just justification, right? It's just an easy scapegoat they get to use.
And like, hey, what the fuck? I wasn't arrested the first 57 times. Why are you arresting me now? Just because I had a bunch of cocaine on me?
Exactly. I mean, police officers are more apathetic in the city. There's many variables that go into what causes this entitlement.
So, like, you have out there where a guy, for example, tries to steal a cop's gun because he's robbing a bag of potato chips, and the cop's going to maybe arrest him. He's like, I just stole. What's the big deal? And the cop starts maybe arresting him, and then he tries to pull the gun out, say at a gas station, and maybe that cop goes, hey, I got to shoot you now because you just tried to take my gun. And then out there, it's like, hey, this guy, all he was doing was robbing a store. Why are you going to shoot at him? We're out here, we're going to be like, hey, man, you're robbing a store, and you tried to take a cop's gun. Fuck off. You deserve to be shot.
Yeah, that's a similar... different context, similar situation in the sense that, that goes back to perception, though. Perception, the community's perception of policing is that, that's the kind of, there's other variables that go into play, such as, perceived racism, injustice based on the skin color, etc.
They make stuff up in their head. Right. And that's partly, I would say, media and they don't look at percentages. Obviously, everyone out there is black, so of course the people getting arrested are black because they're all black.
Well, I think it's because there's poverty in that area, and poverty tends to lead to more crime, and then they just all happen to be black because that's just what happens. Like,
yeah, I mean, we could sit here and
debate. That's part of it. That's two different things.
We could sit here and debate why the city is set up the way it is, right? Like socioeconomically. But I think the reasons why at this point are irrelevant, right? The history is irrelevant, at least for the purposes of stopping crime and preventing it. All that matters is this is the situation we live in, and we can't change the history, right? All we can do is change the future, at least try to.
Right.
Which is something that easily gets dismissed because everyone's so focused on the past, and rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, we could sit here and fucking talk about the reasons, the factors, right? The variable all fucking day, all day, man.
That was quick.
I just squeezed it out.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying? What was he saying?
He was just kind of like doing a rap.
We were just talking about the history of the city, or of the history of the reasons why. It's predominantly, impoverished areas are predominantly African American, right? We were talking about the reasons why, and essentially at this point, at least criminally speaking, why it's irrelevant, and how that likes to be, the whole they were mistreated. African Americans obviously have been historically mistreated, and it's not that they're still not being mistreated, but they assume, right? The default is we assume that if a criminal is black and a police officer is white. If this is the topic we're getting on, they assume the default. Inner city folk generally assume, and this is whites and blacks, generally assume that it's racist, that it's that the reasons why the police officer's acting the way he is because of the color of that person's skin.
So I have a question. What about? There's a lot of people out here that understand that the majority of people, the majority of the people in the city are black,
No,
and we just understand they're
first of all,
breaking the law.
That's not correct.
And then it has nothing to do with skin color.
Not the majority of the city. Well, I think it's pretty even, like 50-50 within a few.
Right, that's what I would say it was.
Predominantly North City, not North City, right? North of Del Mar.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is predominantly black, like probably 99% black, or very, very close to that percent. North City. We're talking about a specific, part of the city.
Yeah, but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like the reason Matt said like how they have historically been mistreated, it makes sense why they would think like, oh, this is a white person, they're just here to mistreat me. It makes sense why they think that, but it's not always the case.
I don't even. Think
I would say it's almost never the case.
I don't think they think it. I think it's just a convenient scapegoat.
It's
I don't even
it's
think
assumption.
It's
Oh, you don't think they think that at all?
They might just be using that as like a ploy, like, hey, poor me, I'm black, so why are you arresting me?
I think some of them.
My ancestors from 400 years ago had to crop corn.
Ironically, the ones I think who actually truly believe that police officers are
the ones out here
racially that are giving injustice. That are unjust based on racism are actually, I think those people are actually more white than black.
I was gonna let you know, most people, like I've got a lot of people out here. The people that I know are black typically go, hey, no, he's a fucking idiot. Maybe it just has to do with that he just broke the fucking law, and of course he should have got shot.
It all
of course
goes back to perception.
But like, yeah, and
ideology.
And all my white friends, certain white friends that I know and I work with, they go, hey, black people have it rough. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Give me an example. And they go, well, I saw on the news, or I saw this, or there's no perception. They don't understand.
Well, there is perception. It's just misperceived. That's the problem. Like,
there's no real life perception.
They don't have the right perspective. They don't have other perspectives. I say right as in what we believe to be right.
They don't have real life perception. It's just like, I saw on the news, and since it was there.
Most of these people don't. They fail to recognize that they don't have life experiences. Most of the people who are advocates of Black Lives Matter, not that Black lives don't matter, but the political movement of Black Lives Matter, right? The idea behind police officers unjustly policing black people, right? Those people, that political movement, not the fact that Black Lives Matter or not, right? Not the objective notion of that. But the political movement, I think most of those people who actually truly believe that black people are being mistreated based on the color of skin by police officers are actually white. And that is because of their lack of perspective. Because a lot of the inner city people, right, specifically black people who are criminals, not that all black people are criminals, the black people that are criminals, the ones who are committing crime.
It's demographic, yeah.
Are actually... I think most of them are actually cool with the police. Like usually, run, they fight sometimes. Usually they don't fight. You just run when they're caught. They get up. Usually cool. They understand. They know what they did was wrong. They just didn't want to get caught, which is understandable. I wouldn't if I was doing something illegal.
So,
yeah,
I work at a lot of different stores. I work at a store. I manage several stores. I work at a store in North County, in Florissant. I work at a store in South County. And a lot of these customers, we're saying Florissant, a lot of these customers are black. And it seems like a lot of the people like to spew their political beliefs a lot without even asking people. And these people come in, and a lot of these people from North County have Trump hats on. A lot of them are going, this whole Black Lives Matter is bullshit. And it's a lot of black people out in Florissant.
That goes back to what we were, previously discussing.
Right, and I'm just giving my own perspective. It seems like a lot of these people go have a good sound like grass. Hey, listen, this is horseshit, and a lot of them like to spew their opinion. And then it's like I'm out in St. Peter's, and you have white people coming in like, like these black people are being attacked.
Man. It's the fad to believe.
And
if you're
I see it a lot.
If you're not anti-racist, then you are racist. That's the status quo now. And specifically, it's white
towards
people.
Not just anti-racist, anti-racist. I think you just said it towards black people.
Dude, I've always been. I just want to say.
Just let him talk real quick.
I've always been anti-racist, and
I think everyone in this podcast.
It's the popular thing right now, and I'm always about being popular.
Okay, Mike's making a joke. All right.
Yeah,
but no, in all seriousness, it's crazy because I see that a lot. A lot of black people. I mean, it seems like it seems like a lot of the white people I know out in St. Peter's want to be like for something and want to be like, hey, I'm with you guys, and like, who are you really with?
Yeah, everybody wants to be the white knight in armor, right? Everybody wants to be the shining white knight, and it goes back. That's the whole social justice warrior thing. Social media has created a whole new fucking culture that has exploded. That's a large part in why this movement is the way it is today, because of social media. And we could go into all of that, but that's a whole different fucking discussion.
No, I know. And I'm guilty of, like, when I see a white guy in St. Peter's start going, Black Lives Matter, I'm guilty of going, man, your perception is so fucking whacked. You can't have an opinion. And, maybe I shouldn't have an opinion either, but, like, their opinion doesn't mean shit to me when they have no perspective themselves.
Yeah.
It's just ironic because all the people you see, like I said, like we were saying, a lot of the black people are good. They're good people, and they recognize that just because a black person committed a crime and something bad happened to them by a police officer, presumably this was just a justified bad thing happened to them, that it's not because that guy was black and the police officer is white, right? I think the way that media would have you, they want turmoil, obviously. Everyone, like, this is just
it's what they get paid for.
Yeah, turmoil is what gets hits. It's what gets likes.
They're out of a job if they don't spread shit. They're out of a job.
Exactly. I mean, this is just a known, obvious thing. So sorry, continue. No, the premise was like, I think there are a lot of black people that don't like. It's not like I said. I think there's a lot of black people who don't like the way the movement Black Lives Matter is going and its direction, because it's misleading, it's been misconstrued, and it's just not factually objectively true. Like most of it is not. It's just not.
A lot of it's based on I want to say they want to get to people's feelings, especially people who don't know what's going on. So they go, "Hey, that cop was white. This guy was black, and he kneeled on his neck." And like, of course, I think everyone right here can agree. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is, but I think we can all be like, hey, kneeling on a guy's neck for 9 minutes is fucking wrong.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously we're talking about Derek Chauvin. Like, Derek Chauvin's a shitbag. Nobody's arguing.
And we all agree on that. Yeah. But
nobody's disputing his shitbagness. But
we're disputing if he knelt on his...
I feel like those cops were improperly trained, is what I'm saying.
There was no proof, there was no evidence that what he did was racially motivated.
Was because he was black.
And
because police brutality...
notion is that as a society, if we start judging, we start making
assumptions,
racially motivated assumptions because of something, because the color of their skin, right? It's ironic. Like,
it's because it's black. It's black and white. It's got to be this. And the way I guess I always viewed it was
our assumption as a society. It's funny because the Black Lives Matter movement is racist. It's racist in that.
It's very racist.
That. Because he's a white cop and this guy's a black dude, we're assuming that it's been racist.
By definition racist.
He's just a shitbag. Like, maybe he's racist, I don't know. But him doing what he did, in and of itself,
has nothing to do with it. There's no premise.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that more like that's more of like a police brutality issue than a race issue?
If we want to talk about police brutality,
people just made it a race issue.
Precisely. If you want to talk about police brutality is a very real thing that needs to be addressed. That is an issue that we can get behind, and we should.
Not based on skin color.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I believe in police brutality. However, I do not believe in racial police-driven brutality. I think that is a complete myth.
Let's get something straight. You mean systemic racial police? Like, obviously, there are racist police officers. There's racist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you can't just be like, "Hey, he was white, he was black, he's racist." That by definition is racist.
Also, Matt, like, I know you were saying, like, on another podcast that you were the cops were like, they were just taking anyone they could get just because they were so understaffed. Like, I feel like you're not putting the right people out there to assess the situation correctly and do the correct things.
They hire mediocre, average humans to do a superhuman's fucking job, bro.
Do they have a choice though?
And it's not just the city, nationwide, dude. I mean, even the city's the worst of the worst right now because we're so shitty.
You think if they paid these guys what they... Here's the thing, man.
Of course.
If you're putting your life on the line, I think you should make more than $48,000 a year.
It's not even that, bro.
No one wants to do the job.
It's the way it all goes back to the organization, the structure. The structure's shitty. They get treated like shit. I mean,
So what are their options? Like, you're not giving them an option. Like, why is a highly trained guy gonna go be a police if they're gonna get treated like shit at a low wage?
Why would a guy, who has above average intelligence, above average physical skills, right? Like high levels of physicality, fitness, traits that you need that take years to develop. Dude, in order to be a police officer the way that society thinks that we should be police, like, I mean, we're talking about years of training in combatives, hand-to-hand
highly
combat,
skilled,
physical
genetic
fitness.
freaks.
These things take years to develop, and they're wanting to send people through a 5-month academy to learn shit that takes years, right? I mean, if we're looking at
so this would take resources and money and time.
They want police to act like a military operator, dudes that like special forces dudes, right? Because that's what you need. Like a police officer, the way that they're wanting police to do the job, to make split-second decisions and make the right decision every time, all the time, and which even operators don't do, right? But these guys are highly trained dudes who train every day. Their sole goal in life is to get better at the job that they're trying to do. And policing, dude, it's not like that. We shoot twice a year. Yeah, we go to the academy, dude. It's a fucking joke. The standards are low. There's no physical training in combatives. The problem is standards. And until we raise our standards, they're going to keep hiring shitty policemen, and they're going to do a shitty job. And that's
how do you raise? Sorry, go ahead.
Matt, do they like train people in how to do like under stress situations and like what to do? Like, do they do that kind of training?
Do they do yeah, I mean, do they do training? Yeah, but do they do enough of it? Is it proficient in duration? No. Do they do it? Sure. Like, but it's not right. It's not enough, and they're not well trained, dude. Like,
so do you think
the key to any training is repetition, and we just don't. That's just not a thing. It just doesn't happen.
A serious question, Matt. This would take more money and more time, obviously the whole economical deal, right? But in all seriousness, though, this would also, would you think higher wages for these cops would produce better cops?
Possibly.
I think, yeah. I mean, this obviously is an economical argument, right? I mean, we're talking about a competitive marketplace. That obviously, higher wages creates a competitive marketplace. Now we have more applicants to choose from. That's the theoretical side of it that we could easily argue and has been proven, I'm sure, in tons of research, right? Tons of studies.
Because you're an outlier. What you can do is an outlier.
And that's the problem, though. Like, I shouldn't. My training, like, right, the fact that I train every day, right, I'm highly trained in grappling.
You're also gifted, though.
Sure, right. No one's expecting everyone to be a fucking D1 athlete or a world champion grappler, but
if we get half of that, right?
Yeah, if you could get a guy who's training consistently in grappling, who's training consistently in physical fitness, who's training consistently in firearms. Sure. I mean, whatever, man. I mean, somebody who's consistent in training, who's disciplined. Yeah, not everyone's going to be a freak athlete. Not everyone's going to be 6'1", 220, running a fucking 5:30 mile. But, like, there's no reason why we can't get dudes who are solid, right?
So why can't they put more money into this and make better cops?
Why can't we? I mean, that's a whole different issue. I mean,
right.
The money obviously isn't there. The value in policing, right? It's not – I think
but that wouldn't really fix this whole. That wouldn't fix a lot of the issues at hand, would it?
I think driving a competitive marketplace would fix some issues, but I think it's the standards. They need to raise the standards, and unfortunately, well, here's the problem: if they raise the standards, there just aren't enough applicants. They can't even having almost no standards right now. There's barely enough applicants just to get classes.
But wouldn't, like, if you rose the budget, whatever, if you get paid cops more, you'd have more cops out there, you'd have more materials and weapons and resources, and then cops would start maybe arresting prostitutes and maybe arresting people who had cocaine on them, and then maybe those standards would change. Do you think?
Well, I don't know if I like the way that. I mean, the concept of increasing a budget would, you're asking, would increasing the budget create better police? Is that what we're getting at?
Not really the budget. I should say the wages.
Well, sure. I mean, a higher budget would presumably in turn result in
This is just a question. I have no idea. I'm asking the question. Yeah.
I do believe. I mean, that's the whole theory. I mean, I do believe higher wages would result in better options, thus overall probably better police. But that's not the end all be all. I think the main
never is.
I think the main method of improving, nothing is going to change, right? The necessity, the thing that needs to change is standards, and this is nationwide, not just the city. The standards need to be increased, and obviously the problem is increasing the standards would thus cause more police to not make.
And how do you change? How do you change the standards?
There's each state has its own standards, right? That are certain.
Right.
There's an organization.
So laws.
Okay. Yeah. They need to change the standards. Whatever organization is certifying them to be a police in that state.
Okay.
And obviously the problem is, if you don't have enough applicants, even if you raise the standards, you're going to have less police, and you're just going to be understaffed. So you have to not just change the standards, but you also have to find a way to find better people, which presumably is done by higher wages. Yeah, right? I mean, they hire contractors. I'm using this parallel of military operators because they're perceived as the elite in their job, right? In the job force of military related operations. If those guys get paid $100,000, $200,000 a year to do what they're fucking doing, and they're fucking good at it, and there's not many of them, and that's the problem, dude. I just think that the kind of police that people are looking for, they're looking for this elite fucking this elite group, this breed of people, and I just don't, realistically, pragmatically, I don't think there are that many people in the world that can do the job that a policeman requires at its highest level. I just don't think they're out there. Even if you increase the standards, the pay, there's not many dudes that want to fucking train every day, all day, and even if they're getting paid $200,000, they don't want to fucking. It's stressful. It's shitty. You're devoting your life. In order to do policing, dude, and do it right, dude, I devote my fucking life to being better at every single thing, dude. My time, it's not just working, but my off time, my free time. There's no value, there's no amount of money you can put on that. You're giving your life. We're talking about your life, even if you're not dying, you're giving your life, your time, and it's a year-round job, 24/7, bro. I mean, you mentally, physically, everything that it takes, and there's just not many people in the world that want to do that because you have to not just be good at, be mentally and physically ready. You have to want to do it. You have to want to help people and be willing to help them no matter what. And that's just not a mindset that people have.
I'm just going to follow up with that, man. I don't think there are enough people in the world like you to do what you do at your skill level and just your, everything you said, man. It's awesome. And, me and Mike, I'll speak for Mike. We respect that, man, cold-heartedly, and I wish people would understand. We understand what you do for us, and we appreciate that, and we wish there were more people like that. I would just kind of leave it at that, but
I think most policemen are good-hearted, man. I think they do want to help. I truly do.
I would say all of them are, or most of them.
I think most of them are just improperly trained, and they don't. Unfortunately, the stigma is that I think most of these people, I had the luxury of growing up a competitive athlete, and everything I did, I wanted to fucking be the best at. I think that mindset, they're missing that part of training. They think a 6-month academy gets them ready, bro. No, dude. You're not ready to go fight a dude who doesn't want to go. That you're about to take his life away. This dude will fucking kill you.
I saw your graduation. I was there. You won, 5 out of 6 awards, and the one you didn't win was the best heart or something?
No, I think it was he was the marksman. He didn't get the marksman.
Whatever he didn't get. He won almost every award. And, and the thing is, I get that there are people with good-hearted and they have your drive, but there isn't good-hearted people with drive and then have your physical abilities. That would be awesome. I think raising the wages would help, again, create a competitive market. The market isn't so competitive, I don't feel like, at $48,000 a year for what you do.
I think even increasing, I think, unfortunately, man, even doing that, doing all the things, I just don't think that the mindset, you have to have it, like I said, it requires a unique mindset. You have to want to give your life, like I said, dude, in order to do this job, you have to want to give your fucking life away. You have to. In order to do it right, you have to be willing. I mean, dude, I'm afraid of dying, but I've accepted, and not that it's grand, but you have to accept the fact that if you're not willing to die, then why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah, man.
That's and I don't just mean die because it's not you have to be willing to just give your life, your time, everything you do in order to be the best at it. You just have to.
In the words of Rocky, man, and I truly mean this, in the words of Rocky Virtue, there will never be another mission.
No, man, I just
swear to God, dude.
The mindset, like I said, dude, most policemen are good-hearted. It's just unfortunate that most of them aren't. They don't have the upbringing that I had and the training, the base training. You know, it takes decades, bro, years to develop a good.
Everything has to kind of fall in place, right? Like
not even just
you've got to be this talent.
Not even just the skills, the physical, mechanical skills, but the mindset, bro. People have
right.
They have a good heart, but man, if you start fighting a motherfucker that wants to kill you, dude, most of these cops ain't gonna be able. They're not gonna know what to do, man. Maybe they lean on a dude's neck. Maybe they shoot him because they're scared. You know, that's why we have this. This goes back to police brutality, right? This is why we have the problems we have. And like, it's frustrating.
Sorry, go ahead.
Matt, you say like, don't you think like it's? You were saying mindset and stuff. That's what I think too. Like, isn't it more like mostly like the mindset? Like a lot of the situations that people are like criticizing, it's like because those cops were maybe like scared and didn't know what to do in the situation, ended up doing something that they probably shouldn't have done.
That is the biggest issue. If you ask me, the biggest issue of police brutality, whether it be intentional or not, the biggest issue of the misuse of force, right? We're saying police brutality. The biggest issue behind misuse of force of police, I don't think most police officers are pieces of shit. I don't believe it. I think that it's because of a lack of training. Yeah,
they don't have an option. Is what you're saying.
A lack of training, dude. If you put an average dude, if you put a fucking average dude against a guy who you're trying to take his life away, right? You're trying to take his livelihood away. You're gonna put him in prison. Yeah, he's literally has nothing to lose by fighting you. What do you have to gain? You're just trying to get a dude in handcuffs. Yeah,
awesome.
And you're an average dude trying to take a dude's livelihood away. Yeah, dude, you better be well fucking trained, and they're not in order to handle that situation properly, which results in the misuse of force because they're scared. They haven't had that adrenaline dump. They haven't had the time put in to know what it feels like to fight another human. Most of these cops haven't even been hit in the face. You know, they don't know what it feels like.
Here's the thing, man. I saw your graduating class, and it was just looking at their physical appearance. It made me concerned for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. I mean, I love.
There's a couple guys like, oh, cool. Yeah, he looks like a cop. But some of these guys, I looked at him like, dude, I could flick him.
Right.
He's 5 foot tall.
Physicality isn't everything to policing, man. And there are a lot of dudes I know who are good policemen, who do good police work that aren't physical. But at the end of the day, at the front lines, dude, right? If we're going out on the streets, it's just like infantry for military. Our frontline dudes who are out there confronting these violent criminals, we need them to be physical. And I don't mean overly aggressive, but like when needed, you better be able to fucking handle your shit. And the sad truth is, we don't have enough physically. Like it goes back to standards. There's not enough physical humans out there.
There's a fine line with being a well-built human and having the physical ability to restrain a criminal. Look at Mike. This is nothing against you, Mike.
Wait. I was going to say something. I was going to say it was a good thing that I did not try to get in the police academy again because let me tell you, I wouldn't be able to take it mentally. Like I wouldn't be able to make those decisions, you know? I'd run. Remember when I see
that's true, he does.
When I see fear, when I get fear, I run, you know.
And it's just one of those things. Like
I run away from a fight.
And you look at
to fight another day.
Look at you. You literally look like Captain America, Matt. Like people will look at you and no, this is the truth though. People will literally look at you, and I think they'll back down right there, and they're already going in that fight, going, "I'm going to lose this." You take Mike.
Physicality matters, dude.
If a cop, it does. If a cop Mike size squares up with me, and I'm fucked up, and I'm not thinking. He's gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, you're like. I just saw that John Stassi Mike Roderick wrestling match. I could totally take this.
9 out of 10 times.
John Stassi can
it goes
throw
back
the whoop ass. I can
even a well-trained Mike. Even if Mike has 5-10 years of grappling in his back, wrestling, combatives training. Even if he does, if he could go, you try to arrest a dude that's 250, fucking not wanting to go to prison.
He's gonna fuck you up.
He's solid and he's got some muscle on him. He's still probably gonna fuck you up, bro. Like, and even if you're well trained, like it goes back to size still fucking matters. And that is one thing that it's just I was gifted physically of being above average height, above average size, which helps
reach,
helps
size, weight.
These physical traits do help. It's irrefutable, and that's just something that is obviously not the norm, right? And there's nothing we can do about that.
But you can take an average guy and make him a soldier.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, that goes back to they're trying to take average people and make them fucking super soldiers. They want policemen to be super soldiers, and it's just not a real. We don't have enough. There isn't enough. There's too many policemen and not enough super soldiers. That's the problem.
Yeah. I still think they should create a more competitive market because that's going to bring more people out like you.
Matt, let me ask you a quick question. Like, how many times have you fired your gun in the entire time? How many years you been working it?
3 years. I've only actually fired my gun one time. I've been in three. Like, I've been shot at 2 times, and I've been in. The time I fired my gun, I wasn't actually the one being shot at. I've been in 3 shootings. One of which times I fired my gun.
Well, yeah. See, like that's the problem. Like any other cop, like where they get in those situations, like they wouldn't be like you and not fire their gun when they've been shoot at or something. You know, you've only fired it one time.
He's a good cop,
and that's because you know how to make the right decisions in the situation. That was the one time you had to use it. You know,
I think also he doesn't need to. Listen, man, if someone's trying to grapple with him, he doesn't need to pull his gun out. He can fuck him up with his hands. These guys don't know what to do. They pull their gun out.
That's the thing. A lot of the time, that goes back to training, right? A lot of times where I've chased dudes, fought dudes, like where they had guns. I could have probably shot a lot of dudes by now and been justified. But that's the thing, dude.
Justified. What is justified?
Because of my skills, because of my experience thus far,
not being white,
and my physical fitness and my combative skills, I'm able to end the situation quickly before he even gets the chance to. And it's not that like that I have magic powers, but a lot of these situations. The point is, a lot of these situations can come to a resolution, right? A non-fatal resolution. If you just act with aggression and you do it fast, and right, the violence of action. You're in the situation before it becomes deadly. And a lot of these police officers, if you look at these videos, these shootings, a lot of them, bro, they made a lot of mistakes up to before they had to shoot them. And that's the problem, right? Like that shooting over, remember that drunk guy, the DWI, the 2 police officers they shot over in, was it Nashville? Atlanta, Georgia. That guy who had the taser. He took the cop's taser, right? He pointed at him.
Oh, Casey Blake?
Is it? Yeah. That shooting.
Yeah.
It was a justified shoot, right? He's justified to shoot that guy. I don't disagree.
And he had a butcher knife under his seat?
No, not that one. Was that Casey Blake? That's not the one I'm talking about. But that was a good one, too. They let that dude, they grappled with that dude, and he was able to get away from there because they weren't able to control him, right? If you were able to control that suspect, he would have never gotten in that car to go get a knife. This shooting you could have prevented this whole shooting. Were they justified in shooting him after he had already done what he did? Sure. He's got this knife now. He's a threat. He's a fatal threat to the police officers. But what no one's talking about is that they could have stopped that before it ever happened. The shooting in Atlanta, like I said, they took the cops' tasers, right? That drunk guy, they got in a wrestling match. They took the cops. This guy took the cops' tasers. 2 of them. 2 cops, sober cops, fought a drunk dude, all about the same size too. Took the cops' taser, ran, and then tried to tase the cops as he's running. They shot him. I think the shoot is justified, but what no one's talking about is that they could have.
It could have been prevented.
If those 2 cops
could have been prevented.
If they had mediocre level grappling, dude, that suspect would have been in cuffs within seconds. He was drunk. He was fucking like. These are things people are talking about. This is why I'm saying, like, are there things there's some shootings that are unpreventable, bro. Like grappling obviously isn't magical. Like sometimes you just have to shoot a motherfucker. But a lot of these situations, a lot of this use of force can be mitigated, and the damage done to criminals and police officers, right? The injuries can be mitigated with good training. And that's what I'm saying, dude. No one's talking about police brutality. The key to police brutality is fucking good training, dude. It's good fucking training. And nobody wants to talk about that because that's not a hot topic, you know? It doesn't, you know, it's so, and that's the most infuriating thing to me because I truly wholeheartedly believe that, man.
No, dude, this opens my eyes personally. I think that's really the way you put that, dude. It really makes me want to just be like, it wants me to educate people who don't understand, getting your perspective on things, getting your real life perspective. It kind of blows my mind, dude. That really like opens my eyes. Yeah, like that makes a lot of sense,
dude. A well-trained motherfucker is gonna be more confident. He's gonna know what it feels like to have an adrenaline dump because he's fought another human. He knows what it feels like, and he knows that he can handle his own. That against an untrained dude, he's probably gonna win the fight. And guess what? You're gonna be less likely to use lethal options because you have that confidence, dude. The confidence alone is a huge factor. Let alone the actual mechanical skill that they've acquired through the training. Just the mindset. The mindset you acquire through this training is the key to good policing, bro. Good policing is mindset, not we can talk about physicality, you know, making a super soldier, whatever the fuck, right? But mindset is the fucking key, dude.
Get in or get the fuck out, and you're getting in there,
bro.
Yeah.
You gotta be ripped as shit.
That's wild, man. That is intense.
Matt, I think this is Taylor Cruz. He said, I think Matt Green could take 6 cops' tasers by himself, no problem. I think it's
you know, I think if they didn't have tasers, this is gonna I think Matt could too if they didn't have tasers.
Dude, there's people, even these tasers, man. I've seen police officers get their ass whipped with tasers, bro.
They need to get better. They need to get better fucking tasers or use pepper spray.
Well, dude, there's always gonna be, there's always a weakness to everything, right? Things aren't gonna always operate the way that they should or need to. Tasers are vulnerable because they don't penetrate clothing well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But and at the end of the day, dude, guess what? You still gotta get that motherfucker in cuffs, right?
And if you hit him in the temple, he's done.
Yeah, but the thing is grappling, right? Grappling's a safe method because we don't usually, striking is usually unsafe for the police officers anyway. Because, I mean, obviously nobody wants to hit somebody with a closed fist. That increases injury to their hand. There are strikes that I could recommend in situations, knees, elbows. But grappling is the most effective combative training that you could fucking have.
And what can they do if you got hands on them? They can't reach for a weapon.
Well, yeah, I mean, that goes back to, it's not magical, but yeah, dude, a lot of the use of force, if you act, right, this goes back to police officers hesitate, bro. Hesitation's a fucking killer, and when you have good training, you can recognize when somebody's, Do
you ever, I don't know how this works or you ever, step up and be like, hey, man, can I bring classes on defensive tactics? Or
you know what, I tried to actually get in, defensive tactics,
because they need people like you training defensive tactics.
I would love, to answer your question, I would love to fucking run defensive tactics for our police academy. I only have 3 years on. It's not really, it's very political. It's not really an option for me. They wouldn't take me seriously, unfortunately. People don't know what they don't know. People don't know the power of jiu-jitsu. If you don't do jiu-jitsu, if you've never been in a fight, if you've never fought a dude who knows jiu-jitsu, you don't know what the fuck it can do, bro. A motherfucker that's well-trained in grappling, even if you can strike, will likely fuck you up. I mean, and that's what we need. Here's the thing. Police officers, we're not looking for police officers to beat the fuck out of criminals, right? To beat them into submission.
You're looking for them to restrain them.
The goal is to restrain them. And guess what jiu-jitsu is? It's all about controlling a fucking subject. That's the whole goal of the fucking sport. And no one's talking about that, bro. Right. We go to the police academy, these dumbass fucking instructors want to, show fucking Steven Seagal #2 wrist locks. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? It's a joke, bro. And they don't take it seriously because they don't know what they don't know. It's very ironic, and that's why.
And these guys are getting promoted within these guys that have been on for years and years and never actually been taught defensive tactics, right?
Well, they're taught what they think is effective defensive tactics.
But it obviously doesn't work because they're not restraining people efficiently.
There's post Missouri requires 100 hours of defensive tactics, which really is more like 6 hours, to be honest.
And they won't try anything else because if every cop was you, I don't think we'd have Black Lives Matter.
Well, I don't know if that's true. That's
I don't know about that.
Statement.
I'm being serious though. I think it wouldn't be what it is now.
Well, I mean, maybe
because we want it though. We want it though. Because if these people could restrain and control the situation like Matt's talking about, we wouldn't have people dying.
Well, the whole thing for Black Lives Matter started with Michael Brown, and Michael Brown was trying to get the cops guns.
You're right.
That guy
that's why. But that dude was way less extent.
Was a big ass dude. The cop he was fighting was pathetic. He was a pathetic looking dude. He not only was he untrained, but he was small, and that's a catastrophe. And
what can he do?
The dude that shot Michael Brown, I do believe, was justified in that context. But once again,
I do too.
I don't think he need. I think.
But if you had guys who were trained, right, like you're saying,
he was just.
This wouldn't happen.
Given his training and his abilities at that time, he needed to shoot Michael Brown. But
it's the only option. I get that, but it just sucks that he was in that situation.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, but if you had a well-trained or even a solid trained dude who was Maybe not even just. A solid trained dude probably could have handled his own against Michael Brown.
So what I said earlier, if cops were like you, then we wouldn't have Black Lives Matter. The thing is, if you were the arresting cop, you would have knocked Michael Brown out within seconds or restrained him within seconds. It wouldn't have even been a match. Be real.
I do think it's Michael.
And
Brown,
there'd be no shooting.
Michael Brown's situation was avoidable. I think it was.
And if it was a cop like you, we would not have this. We would not be where we are today.
I think that you
I'm not blaming anyone.
Proper training saves lives. Police and fucking criminals, man.
That's all. That's what I'm trying to say, dude.
That is true.
I mean, it does, bro. And I get where people are coming from. Like, no one likes to admit, like, the police. Unfortunately, we have the power to take lives, and that is not a thing that people. I think some people will never come to terms with the fact that we can kill someone and it can be justified. And ultimately, I think that's the ideological problem. But I think we could limit it. Yes, like you're saying, we could limit deaths, bro. Proper training saves lives. Dude, my Green Line Fitness, right? You see my website. All of my posts, dude, it's all talking.
No, I didn't know you had a website.
I
see him posting it all the time.
I got a fitness website that's greenlinefitness.com, bro. greenlinefitness.com. It's totally geared toward law enforcement. It's free online training. This is just fitness, right? Fitness training.
I had no idea.
Yeah, dude. But I'm also an advocate of, obviously, jiu-jitsu, dude. Jiu-jitsu is even more important. But obviously, you can't. Online jiu-jitsu isn't a fucking thing. But yeah, dude. That's the whole goal behind what I'm trying to do here is spread the awareness.
So you're making a difference. Training. You're making a difference, man.
I mean, I'm trying.
That's all. That's all we can ask for.
Matt, Taylor Cruz goes, tasers don't make cops safe from Matt Green. It also said if Adam Greener tried to charge Matt Green, how would Matt Green lay the smackdown on Adam Green? Question.
How would he try to charge? If he tried to charge me with a crime or charge me physically?
I think physically.
I think he means like run up on you with like a knife.
I'm not a fucking superhuman, dude.
You're a little bit.
Shot, I can just still get stabbed and tased. I'm well trained, man. I can handle my own and against most people.
That's awesome, man. No, seriously, I wish.
To do it.
It sucks.
Is all that matters.
It sucks because it's in this situation. It's just a shitty thing. Is it anyone's fault? I don't know. It's definitely like.
It's the system's fault, bro.
It's the system, yeah. And a lot of this, people don't understand this perspective, man. And they understood, like, it's not really the cop's fault either. It's not the guy's fault who had to shoot Michael Brown. What choice did he have?
But given the fact that, it's nobody's fault, but it is our responsibility, dude. It's a policeman's individual responsibility to make themselves aware of the dangers and the need to be properly trained. And it makes me fucking mad. That's the one thing. If you're gonna be a police officer and your goal is to fucking lock bad dudes up, you better be ready to handle your shit. And that means you better be out there trained. What makes you think you could lock a dude up against his will and not be well trained? What the fuck makes you think you could do that?
Yeah, but
because you got to go.
It almost seems like they're setting these guys up to fail. Like you're going to pass them through the academy and go, all right, go do your thing. How do we know? I don't know this guy's experience. I don't know how long he was a cop for. How do we know that wasn't his first physical encounter?
Dude, for most of them it is, man. For most of them it is, and that's the problem.
It just sucks. These guys in charge, they're setting these guys up to fail, and this system has failed so long that they should try something like a guy who teaches other guys defensive tactics.
The guys in charge don't know what the fuck they're doing, and that's the problem.
And they need to not be in charge, and it sucks. And it makes people like you who know what they're doing and put their life on the line every day, and then other people to ridicule you who don't know shit from shit in St. Peter's.
Well,
and they're going to sit here and judge you, and you're doing nothing but putting your life on the line for these motherfuckers.
Hey, I'm not doing this shit for somebody's approval, man. And if I were, I wouldn't be doing it, you know?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm your brother, and I have to hear this shit. And I have to hear these ignorant fucks talk about how cops don't do shit, and cops in the city shouldn't get paid money. And I've got a brother who's getting shot at, and he's more trained than 99.99% of the fucking world.
It's a reality we live in, man. It's a sad fucking reality.
It's fucking it's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic that the people I'm around, they still live with their parents. That's how fucking pathetic they are, dude. That you have not seen the world if you don't do your laundry yet. You know what I mean, though. And you're gonna sit here and judge a cop that makes $48,000 a year who's putting his life on the line. It's pathetic, man. And it makes me mad.
It all goes back to training, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot what I was gonna say. But Taylor Cruz, he says, he comes in, he goes, Matt Green is humble for a superhuman. Superman wears Matt Green's PJs.
That's true though. Just says MG on it.
Hey, do you guys have any more thoughts?
No,
on this?
I'm done.
Or do you guys want to play a quick game?
No, I want to go sit down. My back hurts.
You're done?
I'm done.
What?
I'm done.
I have a quiz show.
Dude, I am done.
Okay, fine. We'll do it next time.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Good seeing you.
Wait a minute. Laundry can be tough. Let's not rip me, Adam.
All right.
That's what Taylor said.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, dude.
It was a good conversation. Hey, do you want to, if we hit you up like every week, do you want to come on like whenever you have time?
Yeah, man, whatever. I'm good.
Sweet.
Hey, tell Matt about how clean my apartment is.
Dude, Adam's apartment is so clean. We're in his apartment right now. You can't tell because we have this thing. But it's so clean, it's crazy. I was like, man, I wish I had my own apartment.
Like that, bro?
Live in a house.
Good to hear, dude. Fuck yeah.
Hey, man. All right. I'll see you later.
All right, peace, bro. Take it easy.
Boys,
Appreciate everything you do for us.
Peace out.
Keep arresting bad guys.
Roger.
How do I turn this off? Oh, here we go.
All right, dude, I get him.
You're done? Dang, dude, I had this sick quiz show lined
Dude, we're
up.
doing that next week. My back is fucking killing me.
Really?
That we were on there for like an hour and a half, dude.
Hour, 15 minutes. We're not... Hold on, I gotta end the call. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I still have to go see Heather later. She's gonna be worried.
It's 9:30, dude.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. I forgot what time. I thought I told her it was gonna be good. I'm just gonna call her really quick.
I don't know why.